Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today we are in a fun event. It's kind of got a bridal theme to it, and it's called Rhinestones and Pearls. And so we are streaming into the Crafty Bunch group and also the Sparkle Room on Facebook. And we're sponsored today by Totally Dazzled. So if you don't know what Totally Dazzled is, really fun, pretty things to use for all of your decorative needs like rhinestones and pearls. So it was a fabulous thing for a sponsorship for our event today. So I am going to wait just a minute. So the person before me was just finishing up. So it was Bev over at, I think it's Country Lovin' Market. And so she's just finishing up. And so then we'll have our people coming in. So tell me today, do you like rhinestones and pearls? When you think of that, is that something that you think about for, to bling up weddings, right? So who doesn't like some rhinestones and pearls for weddings? So I am going to just check another couple of things here, but they'll get me shared into all the places, I believe. And and I don't even have to worry about that today. I know I'm always saying, oh, hang on a second, I gotta share myself here and there, so I don't even have to worry about that today. Hi, Sue. So when you pop in, tell me hello, tell me where you're watching from, and we're gonna have a fun time today. It is a super fun event, and I think it doesn't matter what our age, we all like the beautiful thoughts of weddings, right? And even if we didn't have a wedding that was, really fancy or anything, well, we enjoy going to them, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just a fun thing. It's a great event. Hi, Dina. Hi, Chris. Hi, Amanda. Yeah, it's just a fun thing and a celebration of something really special. So I know we've two of our girls, we had weddings, and I tell you what, it takes a lot to put on a wedding, right? Mine was much more simple. So not anything compared like to when our girls got married. So great big great, and that's okay. That's fine with me. It's not, and I, like I always say, it's not about the wedding, right? It's about what comes after. And those are the things that's the important part, right? Hey, Lori. Hi, Heidi. Judy, Sharon. All the peeps are popping in. Linda, Cheryl, Vicky, Nancy. You guys, thanks for popping in and spending time with us today. Oh, and at the end of the live, you want to be sure and, watch everybody. There's still more lives today. After me is going to be Nyla with Texie's Treasure Chest. So just keep watching, everybody, because at the end of our lives, we are each going to select a name from the people who are watching and from our comments. So I won't even be able to pick you if you haven't commented at all. So be sure and comment through the live. But we are going to pick, each one of the presenters will pick a person through the comments, and then they're all going to go into a drawing, and then the winner will get a gift certificate for Totally Dazzled, and I think it's $100. So that's nothing to sneeze at, right? Hey, you guys. Dwayne, Rhonda, Alabama. Hey, Ann, Nancy, Karen, Debbie, Brenda, Nicole, Pam, Jill. Oh my goodness. There's Danette. Everybody, thanks for popping in. It's Susan, the Velveteen Heart. I love that for a name for a page. Judy, Sharon. Oh my goodness, you guys. I gotta go. I gotta get busy here. We'll never get anything done. But again, thanks for popping in. I'm gonna put us down here. Now, you guys, some of you have seen this before. This is an album that I was working on before, and no, it's still not finished. I didn't know anybody that was getting married. I really didn't have a reason to finish it. It wasn't anything, an urgent situation for me to get that finished, right? And so, so I didn't. And so this is a printable. This collection was something that I had made last year. It's in my Shopify shop, and the link to it is there in the description if it's something that you're interested in. So this was what, this is how far I got. I didn't make anything for the front yet, and I thought this was going to be a perfect time today to be able to finally do something for the cover with the bling that we have from Totally Dazzled. And I'll show you the things that she sent us. And I think all the presenters got something different to use. So here's our wonderful selections. Now, a lot of them have pins on them, kind of a pin that could be on a brooch or something. And so they have an easy way that you could pin and use it on some type of fabric, right? Some of them are more just, more flat on the back. So that's, that's handy. Now, as we go through, if you want me to tell you some of my wedding story, send up some hearts. I don't want to tell it if nobody wants to hear it. Who cares, right? I mean, it's a story, that's for sure. We all have a story, right? This is a pretty piece. Look, it's got a heart and it's got all the little rhinestones in it. There's no pearls on that one. A lot of these pieces have both pearls and rhinestones. So those are pretty. I got so many comments going on here. Hey Martha, hey Lydia, Sherry, Vicky. Oh, I see some hearts. Oh, here's the hearts coming in. You want to hear the story? Well, I was a June bride, and in fact, the date was actually seemed like we had a really crazy day for a wedding. It was on June 1st, but it was on a Tuesday, and that was because we had to wait because the weekend before had been had been Memorial Day weekend, so we had to wait for everybody to get back into town, right? So it was a date that worked. But since then it's kind of nice because it's an easy day to remember, right? Oh, Sharon says she'd like to hear. Aren't these pretty though? And then she also sent, this is Natalie at Totally Dazzled, and then she sent all these other little things, and there's all these different little pieces here. Looks like each of these is the same. These are little hearts and ovals, some teardrops. This looks like it might be kind of a square shape or rectangle. Let's see what that one is. Yeah, kind of a little rectangle. Ooh, that's pretty. They're all pretty. And these are kind of the little, what do they call those that are the little straight things like that? Like if they're diamonds, what do they call? Is that what they call baguettes? Not the kind you eat. I think they call those that. Oh my gosh. And then what are these? And then this is a diamond shape. These are so pretty. And you guys, you know what? I really didn't do a lot of blingy stuff in this junk journal. And so, this is a perfect time to get to, do some of this stuff. But I thought I would work a little bit more. I wanted to tell you a couple things about this. So, yes, Lydia, she was very generous with us. So, my husband and I met when we were 15, and it was at church. And according to his mother, when he came home that day, he told her, they moved to Colorado from Texas. He was originally from Texas. I grew up in Colorado. And so, according to his mother, he told her, I met the girl I'm going to marry. Now, he says he doesn't remember that, and he always laughs. She claimed that. She always claimed that. So we just laughed and thought that was so hysterical. It's like, who knows, who knows if he did it or not, or she just said that. It was funny. Okay, so anyway, we knew each other since we were babies. And we dated off and on. And I mean off and on. So then when he graduated high school in the fall, he went into the Navy. And then, we had dated off and on when he'd come back home. And at some point, and I was friends with their family. I spent a lot of time over there at their house. And even when he wasn't there, And while he was gone, his mom and his sister and I, we would do stuff together. So I did spend a lot of time over there. And at one point, my mom and dad, they were living up in the mountains. My dad was working in the mountains, and so it was kind of lonely at home. So I'd go to work during the day, and then I'd come and hang out where there were people to have fun with, right? Now, I measured this. What did I do with that measurement? Because I measured it so I would know how big. I'm going to make some more of these pockets, you guys. I'm going to make a couple of these pockets, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to have to intersperse the story into, into this, right? Okay, 4 7/8 inches. Okay, so I don't think that's half. I'm just going to set that up there. So 4 7/8. Now that doesn't look right. Let me make sure. Paper cutting is just like, what they say about, yeah, that's right, about woodworking, measure twice, cut once. Except paper's a lot, if I mess up a piece of paper, it's a lot cheaper than messing up your wood, right? So I'm going to cut that there. Well, actually, I'm going to mess up some of that. I think on this side, I'm going to leave part of this. I'm not going to cut it from the outside edge, maybe. Then I could have some of that text right there. That'd be kind of pretty. So I think I'm going to do it that direction. So 4 7/8. Why I came up with that number, I don't even know, because it's certainly not the whole sheet of paper. Okay, now one thing about this is, the method that we're going to do on this is, we're just going to do this and we're going to fold it in half. It's only printed on one side. Now when you print it on one side, you can just use this one piece of paper just like this. And when you fold it, I'm just going to, since it is just a printer paper, you can fold this and get a nice crease. If it's cardstock, I would score it first. So when you do this, when you flip it the other way, you can still read it. It's, it doesn't mess it up because you're just flipping it like this. Now, if you are doing if you're doing cardstock, one thing about cardstock is you can print it on both sides and then just use a single piece, right? So if you're going to print it on cardstock, okay, so here, this would be this, and then you could just flip it up like this. But you have to print it upside down on the other side. You have to, or when you flip it up, it's going to be upside down. So that is my tip to you. Now, one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and continue with the method that I had used here, I thought at first that this was cardstock and that was what it was. When I printed out my cardstock, it was such different coloring on, well, this one isn't too bad. Some other piece I looked at, the colors were so different. I'm like, well, that doesn't even go. Well, your coloring, make sure that you kind of stick with whatever paper that you start. When you're doing a project and you're going to be interspersing everything throughout your project, or if it's going to be places where you want to, see it together, make sure that you are, continuing to use the same kind of paper, because some papers are more white. Some of them have a little bit of a kind of an ivory tinge to them, even if they say white. I had some paper that I bought that it was a great weight of paper. It was actually 28-pound paper, printer paper, but yet when I would print on it, looking at it, it was a little bit more ivory color. So when I would print it, it has a totally different color than when you are using something that is more white. Your colors are going to be more true if you've got a whiter paper, right? Does that make sense? So, phew, okay. Thanks, everybody. Everybody's talking about the yes, I know. Isn't this? Hey, Jet. So, this is, I love this. And I had a couple of rolls of this, and I just loved it. I really had a lot of fun putting that on different things. Now, this was lace that actually was kind of stretchy. Look at that. And I thought, well, that's not a problem, because that kind of gives you a little bit more give to put something in the pocket. So You can use the cardstock and you don't have to double up your paper. But if you just want to use and the fact that you don't have to print it double sided makes it kind of nice to just use, um, the paper like this. So let's do a couple of these. So, okay, back to the story. Back to the story. So, at some point, we had dated off and on, and he was in the Navy, and so one day we were sitting in the kitchen, and I could tell that it was him on the phone, and his mom was talking to him, and so she says, "I don't know. I guess you can ask her yourself. She's right here," and she hands the phone to me, and so he tells me, he says, well, he goes, I I think I'm going to extend how long that I am going to stay in the Navy, and I will get to go to a training school back in the States. So if I come back, what would you think about getting married? That was my proposal on the telephone, and he first had called his mother to see what she thought. I have to be quiet because he's in the other room. So there you have it. that was the proposal. So we'd known each other ever, like I said, since we were 15. And so anyhow, so that we got married, and as soon as we got married, we went to, let's see, we went from Denver, and then we went north of Chicago because the training school was at Great Lakes, where the base is there. So there you have it. That's what happened. You know what? Okay, so now, okay, so I've got that scored, but we gotta glue it together, you guys. Duh. I can't tell all the stories. I can't tell the stories like that. So we got married, and then we were just off on our own, and we went up to live up there. We were only there a little while during school because then we went back to Denver, and they sent him out to go to the ship, and he traveled all around while they were trying to get to the ship. It was like, well, it's supposed to be here, and they'd fly him there, and so it wasn't there, and that was just crazy. You guys, I hope I got that on the wrong side, on the right side. No. Oh, okay. Let's open that up real quick. Let's just make this one for the other side where it's completely closed. I was not paying attention there. So if you're going to close it all up, put some other glue in it, and just make it a more sturdy thing for this. Okay. So let's see about this one. Okay, this one would be okay. And let's leave one side open so we can make it a pocket. One side of this is not pockets, and the other side I made pockets. So you can kind of, this is kind of the easy way to do. Why am I doing that? This is the easy way to do a waterfall. You just, layer them up, and you don't have to mess around with the the little thing, the little mechanism. But those are fun too. The little mechanisms are fun. Okay, so we put this on here. I am just giving it barely over, I'm doing a little less than 3/8 of an inch because I realized I cut the border off and of my paper when I printed it, and the ones that are already in there were not like that. So, sometimes as you build your things, you just have to change it up, right? You just have to go with the flow. Sometimes you got to fix things as you go. Yes, I use reptile glue, and here it is right here. And I just fill these little needle nose bottles, and this stuff glues everything, practically. Glass, cardboard, leather, beads, feathers. ceramic, wood, plastic, rocks, shells, cloth. Did it say paper? Did you say paper? I use it for paper all the time. Okay, so now if you're going to make a little pocket, glue those 3 sides, and then you want a little thumb hole. Shoot, where is that? I set it out here. There it is. So I just usually kind of eyeball it and just stick it in a tiny bit and just trim it off. That is not the one I normally use, and that, oh man, what in the world? And that might be the last one that it ever does, and it just broke. I bought that on a sale. Well, good thing I have another one sitting here. So then what you do is you just take these and you just hold it up here and make sure that's got a nice, let me flatten that out better. It needs to be a little flatter. So anyway, we decided to get married in June, and so it had to be during a time where he could, you know, break away from you know, school and the school thing that he was in up at Great Lakes, and come back. So he was just in town a short time, and we got married and left, ran away. And then just bump it up here to the where the other one was, and just fold it in here. My paper is kind of bubbly. You guys, let me turn my ringer off my phone. Almost forgot to do that. I try to always remember to do that. Almost forgot. Okay, what time is it? Okay, so that is how we would do one of the pockets. And then the other one, where we just did it all the way closed, is just another flip thing. So you can, you know, you could put all kinds of things on the fronts of these, anything you wanted. In the little pockets, I mean, you could use these kind of, you know, as a little mat and put pictures on it if you wanted to. Whatever you want to do. You could write on them. There's nothing that says you couldn't just write on them. And this journal that I made is, it's one of these, I can't even think what you call it. You can take these, this is kind of like a traveler's notebook. So this kind of spine, this is the spine, and so you can put whatever you want to. Your little notebook things would go in here. So in junk journaling, we make a whole signature that we can put in, and then this is just this. And don't do this. Here's a tip not to do. I had some of this elastic cording that was meant to be like for gift ties, and I thought that would be pretty because it was silver. Don't use that stuff because it is pulled tight enough to work for your spine. It's like coming apart. So I need to redo that. But because of the way that this is made, you don't have a lot showing out here, and I'll be able to go in and put something else. I'll probably use an off-white or a or white. Hopefully I can find something that's off-white. Now this little thing that I made for an additional thing to put in here, this is just a piece of cardstock that has been printed, and double-sided on that print, and then it gave something sturdier to use for this section to put these all of these on. And then when you're doing these, especially like this for just a single thing, I also round these corners here, because then it makes a little divot there. It dips down, and it is perfect for this cord to kind of jump down into, right? Phew, you guys, I have not been good about seeing comments. Um, oh, somebody's asking about this. Yeah, so the blue, I keep a couple of these long straight pins in here because these things, these tiny, any of these bottles with the glue you use, are so prone to get clogged up super easy and super fast when you don't have the little top on them. It's just too much air, right? And so if you just have one of these, you can just pop this in here and just go like this, and it'll, it should clean it out pretty, pretty easily. And so that's why I keep that on there. Okay. Let's see. All right, let me see if anybody else has any questions. Yeah, thanks, Susan, for explaining that. Oh my gosh, your husband didn't. No, we didn't ask either. We just did not. My dad told him he would give him some horses to take me away, though, when it got closer to time. And there was a no return policy. Oh, so, our families knew each other, so they all got a big ha ha about, everything they could think of to, make light of it. That's the kind of people I've come from. Both of us. Oh my goodness. In the little blue tube. What blue tube? Little blue tube. Oh yeah, it's just painter's tape on there. It's a pin, like a sewing pin. They're just long. They're super long, and with that kind of a head on it, it's easier to, grab. But they're just long. They are, well, I'll tell you how long they are. From the top of the head down to the other, it's like 1.75 inches. So I mean, they're a nice size thing to have. Yikes! I better be careful. I'll glue all over the place. Okay, so now that I've shown you how to do these little flippy things, and we've talked about printing double-sided, I'm going to put this on here and line it up. And then before it dries, before it sticks too quick, I like to close this down and make sure it's pretty straight here, which I didn't over here, so I'm lucky that it is. Just make sure it's pretty straight, and then just give it a good press. Make sure it's on there good, and then you're good to go. This is so funny. It looks like it almost looks like a branding strip along here with this text on here. And so, I mean, you can put as many of these as you want. You could put another pocket down here. This was something else that I had worked on. This was kind of fun, and here's an idea. I don't even have to show you exactly, how it was, and you can see what I did. This was an envelope, so I took an envelope and I opened it up. I cut part of it here. I think I added this. This was part of the envelope too, but I opened it up, and it also has some cardstock on it as well. Part of it was, I just added to it, and so it has a little flip open thing. True love stories never end. True that. So anyway, we just had our anniversary on the 1st, and so 49 years. So it's been a while. It's been a while, you guys. So, I think it's important that, I think one of the things that makes something last that long is that you're friends in the first place, right? You can't go the long haul without being friends. And here's just a little tuck spot. So again, if you missed, this was my printable that is in my Shopify store, and there is a link there. Now, a lot of this, I like mine to have a lot of places to write and to add things that someone would want. To me, mine are not all about the, you know, the decorating, and the pages have so much on them in the first place. So, and I really didn't do a lot of, you know, adding a lot of other stuff yet. I still, you know, plan to do some other stuff to it. And I made a whole little packet. Where did I do? What did I do with it? Ah, I set it out here so I could use it. Well, I need it. You guys, I need it. What did I do with it? Well, I don't know. I had it right here to use so we could add some more stuff. Good grief. Okay, well, anywho. So this is what else I thought we would do. Well, that makes me irritated because I wanted to add some. Well, let's just go ahead. Let's start with this part. So we still have time. So let's take some of these and let's add, like this is a center. This would be a good place because it's got a, you know, a lot. It's easy to open right there. But what if we were to take some of these other, some of our little sparkly things, or let's see, what do we want to add our little sparkle to? Oh, if the ring was better, that would be cool, huh? I don't know. Do you guys see a great page we should add some to? I don't know. Let's put, oh, I know. Let's put some on the cake, you guys. Let's put it on the cake. That'll be fun. All right, now I have, and I'll admit I have not used a bunch of these before, but I've got this sticky thing that is used like for other kinds of gems and things. Thanks, Roxanne. Thanks, Cheryl. And you know what? These that I was laughing about, let's add. Okay, first of all, I think we could add some of these along the cake, like in some places like that. What do you think of that? I don't know. Oh, or maybe, oh, I tell you what if we put some of those skinny things along the candlesticks? That would just fit right there. With my little chubby fingers, it's kind of hard to do that. I don't know if I can work with those. They're so small. I don't know. I guess we could try, right? Let's try it. So I'm going to just put a little dab of glue there. And this thing is kind of sticky. So I'm going to pick that up with that. Oh, it worked. And just kind of hold it down there. Okay, I got one. Woohoo! I got one. Oh, Susan, that'd be fun. It makes me kind of irritated. I had a whole bunch of stuffs already printed out for the little embellishments and stuff. Ooh, I like that. That's just kind of fun and unexpected. Okay. Well, this thing's kind of cool. I don't even know what to call. I don't even know where I got this thing. Quick Stick. Who makes it? No idea. It's just called a Quick Stick. Okay. Oh man, if you can grab one of these right out of the little packet, that was handy. Okay, so there we've got our, and that reptile glue dries pretty quick, you guys. Once you've got a minute to dry. I'm looking at it up there in the monitor. Now I could have put two of them together, but I didn't. That's kind of cool. Ooh, how about, okay, what if we do, let's see, Let's see what this would look like if we put something like on the vase. Let's move this over here. Put it like on the vase. That would be kind of fun. Let's see, is there something better? Maybe not so big. Let's try one of these instead. Let's try this one. Man, that stuff is sticky on here. It's hard to get it loose. What about just a smaller one? What do you think? The smaller or the teardrop? What do you think, you guys? Let me hear. It is kind of big. What do you think, though? Big or small on that one? Big or small, big or small? I think Totally Dazzled. Sazzled makes that pin. Totally. Did you mean Dazzled? No, not this one. I had it way before that. She might have something like that. I don't know. Hey, Maritza, how are you doing? The smaller one? I think so, too. The big one is kind of big. Let's save that for something else. So, and I think I'm going to put it more at the top there. I'm going to put it right in the middle. We'll just put that there. And it doesn't take much, you guys. You got to be careful because you don't want it like gushing out everywhere, which is what it just did. But luckily it dries clear. You always want the stuff that dries clear, right? There, that's kind of pretty. I like that. Okay, now then, let's work on something for the front. Yeah, I don't know. Cynthia, I bet she's got something like that. Since she has these kinds of things. Okay, so I have this that I bought at a garage sale. And it's got some really pretty appliques. I thought I had one that was smaller than that. What's kind of big? Where's the other one? Well, maybe that's it. I already used one on something. Well, we wouldn't have to use all of that. We could use part of it. Where's my scissors? You guys, I want you to feel really sad for me that I don't know where my fabric scissors are. I have no idea where I have put them. They were laying over here at the table to the side of me, and then the next thing I know, I couldn't find them. What do you cook? What are you making for dinner, Karen? You know, Roxanne, thank you. And I tell you what, I really tried to, oh, you guys, I probably should have done this beforehand. This could take a while. You know what? Let's just kind of give it a rough cut and see how it looks, and then pick out which blingy thing we want to use. Let's do that. Because I can always come back. We won't glue it down, and I can come back and trim it off. Because it's like the applique is just sewn onto this netting, like not at all the edges. Oh my goodness. Now time is getting away and I am in a hurry. Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. But yeah, and then some of our other gals have been talking about, you know, that they do this a lot, you know, find garments at the thrift store and take them apart to use for the fabrics or the trim or whatever. And I'm like, how, you know, and I was thinking I was being really smart when I found this, and I saw, and the lady goes, "Oh, isn't that beautiful?" Yes, I didn't tell her I was going to take it home and chop it up. Oh, Karen is having teriyaki chicken and broccoli. What type of journal is this? Okay, I'm not sure I know what you mean. It's a hardcover slip spine. Oh, I remembered it this time. It's a slip spine, The signatures are all sewn together as a regular signature, so a group of pages. When you put a group of pages together, that's called a signature. And so then they're sewn together, and then they are slipped through here. And so, you can, and there's actually a way that you can add more than one of these together in the same little spine thing here. But I like these because, if you decide you want to do something else with it, it's a fun type of journal, I think. Sharon, I don't know what that means, your uptime thing. I don't know what that's for. I must be out of the loop on something because I have no idea. So we're just going to trim this out. But anyway, my goodness, can you see how much lace and stuff this thing had? It had a nice amount. I can trim under here so we don't have to look at all of it. Now, and you might have to help me, you guys. This piece is not white. And when I got this out and I put it against the journal, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if that is going to work because that heart trim on the edges is white. So I don't know if I can do enough stuff. If I had some white netting, I would make some other little flowers, like gathered up, those little bunchy flowers like that. And I would run get some at Joann's, but they closed. Okay, so we've got this. No, I don't have chatbot. I don't need anybody chatting for me. So, I mean, it really is, I think it's really, I don't think that looks bad at all. Do you? Once I got it off of all of this cream color on here and just here, I think that looks fine. Look at that. Thanks, Wendy. Well, now I've got to figure out what the chatbot does if you say that to it. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Oh, what am I going to fill it with? Well, I don't have a wedding coming up, so it'll probably either be for sale or whatever. It's for somebody to use for a bridal journal. And, for somebody to fill it with their own memorabilia or pictures or writing. Whatever they would like to use it for. It would be kind of a keepsake. I mean, you could use it totally as a photo album if that's what somebody wanted to do for it with it. So here we go. And I like it. Let's see. Well, it's got this stem going this way. Do we care? I don't care. I like it like this. I like it upside down, actually. So if we're going to put that on there, I still want to trim this off more. But let's look at this. Oh my gosh, our time is going to be up, you guys. Let's make a choice. And thank you for coming. Oh, I have to pick somebody. Let me scroll through here. Oh, you forgot it's bridal. Okay, let me scroll through real quick. I'm gonna close my eyes because we have to pick somebody. We're gonna have my winner for this goes into the drawing. So I'm just gonna scroll on here and close my eyes and scroll, and I'm gonna stop. And it is Lori Wallace. Lori Wallace, you go in the drawing. Congratulations, my friend. So now we can put, something gorgeous on here to add to it. Now, if I was going to do that, I would need to clip these little things off. So let's just look. Let me pull out only flat ones. Because even, you guys, even if I pin that through that lace, it is not going to lay down nice. It's not going to play nice. So here's Here's some of our choices. Don't know. And you guys, I have a super cute little silhouette of a couple that I wanted to put on here. I love the heart. And you know, since it is a wedding album, oh you guys, this is difficult. But look at all the bling we've got to play with, you guys. In my time, and so Nyla is going to come up, and she's going to be up, so you should be watching one of the groups, especially if you're in the crafty bunch. We'll probably get her in there first, and all you have to do is refresh your page and find Nyla. Ooh, I kind of like this one. Kind of like that one. I like this one too. I like them all. I don't know. I've got to find a good spot to lay it in. You guys will have to come back to my page and see where I've put it. That's all I can say. That's a good reason for you to have to come back. So, thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I appreciate it so much. It's been a lot of fun and such fun pieces. So yeah, if you haven't been to Totally Dazzled, you know, check it out. It's a lot of fun. So yes, the heart. I know I kind of like the heart too. The heart because of what it is. I do like the heart. Maybe we can put it. I kind of like that best. Oh, look at that. You know, it's just sweet, kind of nestled in there, right? And I bet if I can find my things I got out, I bet that other little thing will look cute with the little silhouettes. It's like a bride and groom silhouette. Oh my goodness, you guys. All right, have a wonderful day. Let's go next and see what Nyla is up to, you guys. Texie's treasure chest. Bye-bye. Have a great day, you guys.